Billy Horschel gets a win at the third FedEx playoff event at the BMW this past weekend. I'm going to be showing you guys 3 key moves of his golf swing that allows him to hit it further than 90% of the players out on tour. And I'm also going to show you how you can put it to use in your golf game so you can hit more fairways and more greens. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the always loud and exciting Billy Horschel picks up the third event of the Fedex Cup Playoffs series, so congratulations to Billy. We've done some analysis on him in the past, and we've really said how much we like his golf swing, and he's got a lot of RST fundamentals really embedded in his golf swing. And this week I want to focus in on 3 critical areas of his golf swing that allow him to be one of the more accurate players on tour as far as driving the ball, and then also he's 4th in greens and regulations. So when you're hitting more fairways, you're going to be more apt to hit more greens, and that makes golf a lot more enjoyable. So you can trust me on that one. And he does a lot of good things to keep things very consistent throughout his golf swing. So we're going to take a good close look at those things today. And from a down the line perspective, what you're going to see, I'm going to draw an elbow plane line. This is up from the hosel of the golf club through the base of the elbow. And then from a face-on perspective, I'm going to go ahead and mark a line across the shoulders. And I'm also going to show you a line between the elbows at address, because it's going to be a good line for you to understand what you're going to be looking for. Now, one of the areas that we're going to be really focusing on this week is we're going to be focusing on the right elbow pit. All right, if you notice at address, this right elbow pit is in a good neutral position where it's facing away from him. And what we're looking to do is where the right arm is necessarily what we call the governor of width. The governor of width is going to help establish a good wide swing arc, and then we're going to look to narrow it as we outlined in the wide, narrow, wide swing shape video. But there's also a great video that talks about the function of the right elbow pit, and it's located in the advanced setup section. I think it's one of the most overlooked videos on the site, because once you learn the function of the right elbow pit, it's going to keep you from getting the right elbow behind the body into a really deep position. It's going to help you not close down your width, and in turn that can help you with a lot more speed and consistency. So from a down the line perspective, you're going to see here he gets the golf club moving back up this plane line beautifully, stays nice and wide with both arms. And take notice of the width between his forearms and elbows. You're going to see him keep things very close together as he moves up into the vertical plane. So you can notice right here at the top part of his golf swing that there is very little separation between the forearms and the elbows as they were at address. And what he's doing there is by trying to hold the forearms and elbows closer together, you're forcing the humerus, the trail arm humerus, to externally rotate. And that's going to help hold that right elbow in line as well. So if you know the functions of the right elbow pit and you understand how by keeping the forearms and elbows much closer together as you move the hands and arms into the vertical plane, that's going to allow for the right elbow to stay in line with the body, and which is going to be much easier in transition to not get ourselves into trouble with pushing the club back over the top or getting the club way across the line to where we have to recover from that. So from a face-on perspective, what I do want you to notice here is that right elbow pit starts to rotate, still stays away, still staying away, and at that point, as I said, he's going to add right arm flexion, keep the forearms and elbows very close together, and get into a really sound spot at the top. So those 2 key moves right there, one, allow him to establish a lot of great width, which is critical for power and speed, and then also he gets himself into a really good spot at the top part of his golf swing. And then you can see as he starts to work down in transition, okay, this is an important frame here for a lot of golfers. He has got the same amount of width that he's had at address between these elbows and forearms. So let me go ahead and move this line so you can get a good understanding. So you can see I've got that line right between the elbows. Also, take note here of the shoulder line. There's been very little change to the amount of tilt to his shoulders. And if I were to go through 2 more frames here, you can see that the shoulder line is still virtually as it was at address. There's just a little change in that tilt. That's what we would call secondary axis tilt, and it's needed to help shallow things out. But you're going to notice here that he's got a pretty nice stacked left side, which is helping him control the bottom of the swing arc, and then in turn putting a lot of good solid impact and compression on the golf ball. So those are the 3 key areas that help him keep the golf ball on the golf course, hit a lot of fairways, and then in turn he's hitting a lot of greens. Even when he's barking at his golf ball, yelling at it, if you still watch his results, he's still hitting it and keeping it in play. All right, so I want you guys to focus on the right elbow pit. Again, that's in the advanced setup section. The 3 functions of the right arm, that's in the advanced backswing section. That's going to teach you what the right arm does as it moves up into the vertical plane after the takeaway. And then I want you to watch the impact alignments face-on video. take a good close look at all 3 of those videos. Really start to understand what you're doing in your golf swing and how you're going to correct things, and really try to make a difference in the feels of your body. That's the best way to change a movement pattern, is that you want it to feel a little bit different. You don't want it to feel the same, otherwise we'd just be spending time ingraining more of the bad stuff. All right, so take a look at those 3 videos. Let's get out there and hit some more fairways. Let's play better golf, and let's in turn hit more greens. I'm really excited to see the conclusion to the Fedex playoffs. I hope you guys are as well. I look forward to working more with you guys in the future, and make it a great week. Okay, so those of you that are joining us on our YouTube channel, I'm going to go ahead and include a special bonus video on the right elbow pit. And remember, if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post those up, and I'll help you out as best I can. All right, so let's get out there and hit more fairways and play some great golf like Billy. I look forward to working more with you guys in the future, and I hope you have a great day.
The most common swing fault that I see on the takeaway and during the entire backswing is something that most golfers have seen on the website, but they don't stick with it enough or pay close enough attention to it, but it's extremely important that you do. So I'm going to put a specific video just talking about the right elbow during the backswing. That seems kind of minute, but it's a hugely important detail. And so I'm going to walk you through what it does during the backswing and what it shouldn't do and what most golfers typically do. So that being said, what most people do at address is this pit of the right elbow, this crease in your elbow, is typically internally rotated. So that's just rotated from your perspective if you're a right-handed golfer counterclockwise. And what happens is that puts the elbow itself pointing away from you, away from the target line, out away, rather than this would be my elbow pointing back at my body, this would be pointing 90 degrees to my body. And because your elbow, the way it's designed, only bends in one plane,